Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Hidden crazy reason Baumia's aid. Rosemond Obeng betrayed. NPP exposed. And it's in quotes. Exposed. Betrayed. Hidden crazy reason Baumia's aid. Rosemond Obeng betrayed. NPP exposed. There's this young lady called Rosemond Obeng. And for some time now, she's turning every ear in her direction. And yes, she's pretty, but it's not about her beauty. Yes, she has eyes that are prying, but it's not about her prying eyes. It's not about her agility. It is about something else. Hey, in 2024, John Dramani Mahama, after he won the elections, decided to make her a senior presidential aide. And that's what you see here. Mahama appoints Baumia's former PA, Rosemond Obeng, as senior presidential staffer. And many were shocked. That's it, all over the internet. And everyone is like, this is your opponent's aide, special aide. How come this person has also become your aide? What is Mahama really doing? But it looks like the secret is out now. The cat has been let out of the bag. What exactly happened? But this lady here called Rosemond Obeng, who is she? Are you hearing about her the first time? Or have you heard about her before? What is truly her identity? Come here. Run the dossier and watch this. Rosemond Obeng, widely recognized in Ghanaian political and social circles as people's mother, is a prominent Ghanaian political activist, government official, and corporate executive. She rose to national prominence through her leadership in youth politics and her highly publicized transition between Ghana's two major political parties. She serves as a senior presidential staffer under JDM. She pursued her higher education at the University of Aberdeen in the United Kingdom, where she completed a master's degree. Her early adult life and academic motivations were heavily driven by a stated passion for women's empowerment and community work. Following the victory of John Dramani Mahama in the December 2024 presidential election, she was appointed as a senior presidential staffer, presidential aide. Yes, she works from the Jubilee House within the Office of the Government Communications, collaborating directly under Minister Felix Kwakye Ofosu. Outside of her government and state duties, she is an entrepreneur and corporate executive. She serves as the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of OJ Scocks Global, a diversified business brand that deals in retail clothing, commercial car wash operations, and the distribution of drinks and other consumer goods. This is the woman we are talking about. She initially established a political career with the ruling NPP, eventually rising to the high-profile position of National TESCON Communicator, as Tertiary Students Confederacy. Following her success with student mobilization, she served as a close political aide to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Did you see the word? Close political aide to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia during his tenure as vice president and NPP flag bearer. In late 2024, just days before the general elections, she resigned from Dr. Bawumia's camp, defected to the opposition National Democratic Congress, and openly criticized the NPP leadership. So this was before the elections. The elections made the people in the NPP believe the NPP was going to win because they were in the incumbency. She left them and decided to do what she did. Rosemond Obeng has gone viral due to her recent public declarations defending a political defection and clarifying her position as a senior presidential staffer under the NDC administration. Now, the main drivers behind his recent viral wave across Ghanaian social media and news outlets like 1957 News include: 1. Rescue the soul of the country comments. That was what she said. And what exactly did she say? I am NDC now, and I will stay with the umbrella until I die. And she also said that she is moving out of the NPP basically to rescue the soul of the nation. 2, she had a backlash over her top-tier appointment. Her recent remarks, her remarks triggered a wave of viral commentary regarding her rapid climb within the Jubilee House. Grassroots political commentators and foot soldiers from both sides have taken to TikTok and Facebook to debate how she transitioned from being an aide as receptionist for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to a powerful senior presidential staffer in less than a year. Critics are using the viral clips to debate whether cross-party defections are often driven by genuine principles or strategic political rewards. Claims of never expecting an office, adding to the viral discussion of being publicly claimed that when she crossed over to the NDC, they were in opposition and she never expected to receive any appointment or government role from JDM. Now, the assertion that she did not anticipate a reward has drawn deep skepticism from political opponents, keeping her interviews at the top of the local digital space. Rosemond Obeng. Now, the public reactions to Obeng's statements and top-tier appointment have been highly polarized, intense, and divided strictly along partisan lines across Ghanaian media platforms. Rather than unifying people, her viral interviews have reignited fierce debates regarding loyalty, political opportunism, and grassroots reward systems. Hey, now she had a big backlash. Charges of betrayal and ingratitude. Supporters and commentators of the NPP have heavily criticized her, frequently labeling her as a betrayer or a bad nut. Oh yes, bad nut. Critics on Modern Ghana also point out a severe contradiction in her behavior. They highlight that she previously dedicated her master's degree to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, thanking him publicly for sponsoring her education. Opportunism claims her sudden shift to criticizing his leadership on networks like GH1 TV is viewed by the NPP base as a calculated move to secure a comfortable position in the new administration rather than a principled stand. Oh yes. And then the NDC leadership is also saying that this is a risky venture. Yes. Defenders argue that defecting from a camp of a sitting vice president right before a crucial election was an incredibly dangerous, risky venture that required immense personal courage. Supporters on media outlets assert that the inner sanctum secrets she holds about the NPP's machinery make her an invaluable asset to the Mahama administration. They believe her top tier defection and comments might necessarily have benefited the NDC in one way or the other. Surprisingly, her appointment has also caused a significant friction within her new party, the NDC. The grassroots are not happy. They think that she has risen too fast. Oh yes, is it loyalty versus reward? The core grievance is that party loyalists who worked tirelessly in the trenches during the 2024 campaign are being overlooked, while a prominent former NPP coordinator is given immediate, high-paying elite employment inside the Jubilee House. They view it as slapping the base. An appointment in the government communications office is entirely justified by her bravery and strategic work. Dash it away. This is Rosemond Obeng. She was part of TESCON, From the grassroots, she was an NPP member. She was with Bawumia. She knew how Bawumia's bedroom looked like. Sometimes she even served food to Bawumia. She got so close to Bawumia. She was even nicknamed the people's mother. She loved to feed people at events. My brother, my sister. Then all of a sudden, before a crucial election that Bawumia believed he was going to win because he was a sitting vice president, this lady decided to ditch him. To his shock, she knew too much about Bawumia, too much about the NPP, and she took everything to the NDC. Her reason is simple: to rescue the soul of the nation. How far has she rescued the soul of the nation? Is it an event, or she is still in the offing of this very important rescue mission? What informed the nitty-gritties of this movement from one point to the other? What does she mean by rescuing the soul of the nation? My brother, my sister, the NPP is not quiet. SM, aka Salam Mustafa, the very careless Mahmoud Bawumia spokesperson, who should never have been part of that team because of his careless utterances with little common sense. My brother, my sister, has spoken. Now this guy here, if we all remember, during the elections, he told the whole Ghana, should Mahama win, he would do something to himself. The coward never did anything to himself. Recently, he told us that they would weaponize their fan base, the youth, against the nation should the NDC or the government continue arresting their members, even for the wrong. Such people, and these are the communicators, such people. He has never been chastised by Bawumia, who himself doesn't know his left from his right. No wonder people are leaving him. They are not serious people. They are only in there for power. That's why I don't like Bawumia. He will continue to harbor pests like this, and he expects to be president. Come here. My brother, my sister, this is Salam Mustafa, aka SM, as you can see on his hat. What did he say about Rosemond Obeng? In almost an hour of Facebook Live, he spoke. But we have edited it to just a few minutes. Watch this.
This is to set the record straight. No malice intended. In fact, I must say that it is taking something out of me to do this for one simple reason. Over the period, I have developed a certain principle of not going after a woman out of deference, respect. And it is so because politics is so rancorous and acrimonious that it doesn't attract women. Therefore, as somebody who would want to see young females also come into politics, I decided that I will not, be hard on females, women in general. And even in my private life, I have some preference as far as how I deal with issues, concerning women. But this one has to be done. This one has to be done. Wherever Rosemond is, please come forward. Please, wherever you are, come. You need to hear this. Or whoever would hear this, let it get to her. and the entire NDC establishment who bought hook, line, and sinker the lie she came and told you, and you took it and ran with it. All of you should also come and take this. Rosemond, you have gotten away with murder for too long. You've gotten away with murder for too long. But today the ghost is out. The ghost is out today. If you have heard our elders say, we should let sleeping dogs lie. You should have allowed sleeping dogs to lie. And I hope that from today onwards, you will respect this saying and abide by. I know the story very, very well because I am part of it. That is why it is incumbent for me to share this particular story and how you have been absolutely ungrateful to a man that was there for you. And it should be probably a disincentive to other young ladies and young people in general not to follow suit. That you never do that to anyone. So let's start with this Rosemond story. I have known Rosemond to be a party girl for some time. I have worked with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia for a very long time. And in 2017, when he became vice president, he offered me opportunity to work with him. So I worked with him the very first day he was working into his office as vice president. We went together and we worked. After some time, I, as a party person, decided that I was going to do party work again. So I decided to contest for National Youth Organizer and come well into party fold and do party work again. I contested in 2022 and won and became National Youth Organizer. But at the time, we had already started the DMB project for president. So I was deeply involved. And when I became National Youth Organizer, DMB, then as he was the sitting vice president, asked that I handle the youth front of his campaign. But because I was a national officer, I couldn't be in the front of it. So we had to find a way to work it out. So a team was put together, led by my brother Manaf and Manaf Ibrahim and Richard Jemfi. One evening, I got a text message from DMB to see him at 5. So I rushed to his office at the Jubilee and went into his secretariat and asked the executive secretary, Madam Lisbeth Utuka, to inform the boss that I was around. She did, and he told me to wait. So I went into the inner chamber of his waiting area to wait for him to call upon me. When I got to the sitting area, Rosemond was sitting there. We exchanged pleasantries and spoke lightly, and he called for Rosemond to come in. Rosemond went into the office, had a discussion with DMB, and came out. Then the boss called me and I went into his office. The first question he asked me was, "Do you know Rosemond?" And I responded to him, "Yes, sir, I know Rosemond." Then he asked me, how do you know Rosemond? And I told him that, oh, I know Rosemond to be a party person, and that she has been Deputy National TESCOM Coordinator under my predecessor, Nana B. and has been in party service. So I know her, and I think that she also, you know, works around for John Boydu or so. Then he said, okay, that she wants to help with the campaign. She has reached out that she wants to help with the campaign. So he wants to find out from me if I could work with Rosemond within the youth campaign. And I said, okay, sir. Whatever you say, we work with it. I thanked him after our conversation, and I came out and I informed the guys, both Manaf and Richard, that this was what the boss said, that we add Rosemond to the youth campaign. At the point, we were working on data and also their movement plan. So when it was time for them to move, Rosemond was added to the field work for them to go out and get and prosecute the campaign. They go out. After 2 regions, I get report that there were simmering tensions with Rosemond. After the 4th region, the complaints had gotten so worse that even some youth organizers were giving me feedback. So I came back to the boss and told the boss that I think there's a problem on the field. Rosemond is not gelling well with the team. Then he asked what we should do, and I advised that she's recalled. So DMB picked his phone and asked that Rosemond returns to Accra. I'm sure she doesn't know why she left the field. It's today that she might be getting to know why she left the field. She was recalled to Accra, so she had to fly and return. And the rest of the work was done successfully without any hitches again. When she got to Accra, she was assigned a role at the campaign office. And this is important. She never worked as a presidential aide. She never worked at the Jubilee House. She was assigned a role at the campaign office. After a few months, I started getting complaints from the campaign office as well, that there were problems there. Then I get a call to come before DMB. I go, we talk about other issues. Then he asked me, are you aware? Do you know? Have you heard that Rosemond is a pimp? Then I said, sir, as far as I know, I have no evidence that she's a pimp, but it is an opinion people hold about Rosemond that she's a pimp. And he said, okay, but I don't have any evidence. But that's the opinion about her. And he said, okay. Later on, I hear so many things that have happened in the office. Some amount of lies and issues of disrespect. And it was beginning to cause some disruptions in the office. She was assigned a role, she leaves the role, and she was more interested in following DMB around. And when she started following around, that's where a lot of information, you know, began to trickle in for all of us to understand. At the time, DMB was the sitting vice president. Wherever he gets his information from, I don't know, and I can't go and ask him. So he was getting a lot of feedback and information. using DMB's name in doing things that were not proper. And I'll share just a few because I cannot speak to everything. DMB was going to UK for a program, and a list was sent to the protocol officer to work on. Rosemond takes her passport to the protocol officer and says that DMB asked her to bring her passport. But the protocol officer who has been working around knows that that is not the right procedure. That's not how it is done. Upon further checks, it was established that it was not true. It was not DMB that asked her to do that. You cannot use the man's name in such a vile manner without his authorization. Then there was another incident. She wants to sit in meetings she's not supposed to, and at one point my boss Samia Wuku questioned her, do you have to sit in this meeting? She said yes. The boss asked her to sit in the meeting. But Sami knew that no, that will not be the case, because that meeting she wasn't supposed to be there. And later checks also revealed that she was not supposed to be in the meeting, and she lied about that, saying that it was the boss that asked her to come and sit in the meeting. There are many instances of these things I don't want to, mention, but just to give a clue of some of the things that were happening. Senior management began to, get uncomfortable, to the extent that Rosemond wanted to serve DMB's food. How? When there's a protocol to handling his food.
So this was SM Salam Mustafa, an aide to the then sitting vice president, and in his oblivion right now, he's also part of him. How can you become president with people like this around you? Absolutely no way. Right-thinking human beings will look at the way these people communicate and realize that they are better off sitting in a dark corner somewhere, writing out scripts and maybe helping to research, rather than putting them in the battlefront. It's a strategy. There are some people who will never win an election for you. One of them is Salam Mustafa. Look at the way he communicates. Boring. Extremely boring. He wants to sound verbose, yet his grammar is wavy. Very sick. But that is how some of our brothers behave. They want to be seen as intellectual. And for that matter, people who don't see exactly who they are, push them into where they don't fit, and they mess up. I said during the election, this guy said if Baumia did not win, he would do something to himself that we cannot mention here, because this is a decent platform. Baumia did not win. He swallowed his own vomit. Hey, like a Bolgatanga pig. Go to Bolgatanga and see how the pigs feed. With all respect, Bridget, I don't like this guy. Again, the same Salam Mustafa came to tell us, threatening the security of this nation. Now he says he loves women, he likes women to be wearing where. At the time he was saying they would weaponize their fan base, the youth, against the security of the nation. Should the government continue arresting dumb-heads like Abronye? He didn't think about the women. That's where my problem is. I have never known Mustafa. until he started making those funny utterances. Listen to his communication skills. Put that aside, because that is supposed to be a certain skill. And look at the meat, the content of what he's saying. Oh, Rosemond was full of lies. She was doing this, she was doing that. Where he pretends to be able to bring you examples, he gives you 1, 2, very sketchy, and then he recoils. But it is enough. Let's look at this. I don't know Rosemond. I've never known her. I don't think I've ever met her. But listen, she was with Baomia. You guys claiming you were not comfortable with her still kept the pest with you. You gave her a scholarship. A scholarship she probably did not deserve as compared to the other people in the queue. But because of dirty political consideration, they gave it to her. She went to Aberdeen in the UK to study on the back of the taxpayer. When she returned, she thanked Baomia for this. And Mustafa thinks that because the taxpayer's money, not Baomia's personal money, was used to send this lady outside to go and study, she should never dare say anything wrong about Baomia. It's only in Ghana that you hear such weak communications like that. I've fed you before. So even if I'm stealing everything in Ghana, keep quiet. I am your thief. She wanted to serve Baomia food when there was a certain kind of protocol for that, or a certain group was for that. What's wrong with that? She wants to get close to Baomia. Maybe keep him warm when Samira is not around. How wrong is that? How wrong is it? Baomia is a Muslim. He can marry as many as 4. If she wants to show Baomia extra love, so she could be a third wife, because we hear there was a first before a second. She could be a third wife. What is wrong with that? Tell me. I thought he was going to say she tried to put some poison or something dirty in Baomia's food and then we caught her. But no, she wanted to serve Baomia food. Is that not service? Is that not service? What's the word you use? Serve Baomia food. In the northern culture, that is how you get somebody who is on a higher pedestal to recognize you and also to pull you closer by trying to get close in service. Isn't it? This is Rosemond Obeng. I don't know her from Adam. I don't intend to meet her or to talk to her. I don't know Salam from Adam. I know Baomia from Tete. That's why I don't like him. My brother, my sister, she was lying. She brought a certain passport and said that, oh, you know what? I was asked to bring this. This was treachery. She should have been fired immediately if that was anything to go by. Somebody who lied in the name of a sitting vice president. She brought her passport and lied, and you still kept a liar with you. I wonder what kind of people you and Baomia are. I wonder. This is serious. There's a list of people going with Baomia to a certain place abroad. It's a diplomatic mission, unless it was a whorish journey. Do you understand that word? A whorish journey. W-H-O-R-I-S-A. Whorish, horse, as in horse, prostitutes. Unless that was it. But once it was a diplomatic mission, and she ventured to lie about a sitting president and on a sitting president, that was a line she had crossed, and therefore she needed to exit. But you twerps sat down and watched her for whatever Baomia was benefiting from her. That we don't want to say. I have so much respect for Samira. I don't want to say stupid things. My brother, my sister, they didn't sack her. Then she tried to sit in meetings. Protocol broken. You didn't sit her back to tell her, you know what? You are outstepping your boundaries. Better still, report to Baomia. Then the most ridiculous part of it is, Baomia asked him, SM, Salam Mustafa, have you heard that Rosemond Obeng is a pimp? To those who don't understand what that word means, come here. Run it. Can you see? Can you see? I should read. The word pimp primarily refers to a person who manages prostitutes and controls their earnings. However, the term has several distinct meanings across slang, music, and pop culture. Now let's break it down. Traditional noun, a procurer or agent for sex workers. If somebody can give you, sex workers, anytime you need sex, a person gets you somebody. That's a pimp. Modern slang verb, to pimp, means to customize, decorate, or upgrade an object to make it flashy or highly stylish. Example, pimp my ride. That does not work in this conversation. Descriptive term meaning excellent, highly fashionable, or cool. It doesn't work in Salam Mustafa's context. The only one there is the first one. But look at this. PIMP, a massive hit. That's a single. It doesn't work here. Pimp is a movie starring Keke Palmer that follows the life of a female pimp navigating the high streets of Bronx. If you want to dive deeper, dash it. My brother, my sister. So, Baomia was working with a pimp, a woman who had prostitutes at her disposal. She will give prostitutes to whoever, anyone who needed a certain kind of sexual jive. She provided that and was in the office of Baomia, so close to him, she would want to serve food or even serve food, travel with him, sit in high-profile meetings. Are you joking? And you never sacked her until she, in her own volition, decided to move out and say, you know what? I don't want to be part of this joke. It's over. So Baomia had a liar who was with him. He had a pimp who was with him. He heard and asked Salam. Salam said he had also heard. Now you are bringing all these things because she crossed carpets. Can you imagine? She was a pimp. Who did she send prostitutes to? You know why they are pushing in that pimp card? Because, Mahama, he has a name about young women. That kind of thing. Papano. So, she probably warmed the hearts of all those around Mahama through her pimp business. Jesus have mercy. My brother, I'll tell you the reason the young lady left. She has all this while been an NPP person, blue, all true, from Tescon. Despite all the benefits she got from Baomia, despite everything she got, she still stood back and said, you know what? My boss, Baomia, may win these elections, but I don't care. Because my heart should rather beat for Ghana rather than what these jokers are doing. If me, a pimp like me, can be with Baomia and nobody says anything, can sit in high-profile meetings, and these jokers do not really mind. If me can get so close to Baumia with all my lies, and he hasn't waved any moral stick, then this is a troubled party. She left. There are some people who behave like that. Me suban we there, me to me ya no ha. Me suban we there, me di ko ha. Ebe you are misbehaving. There are some places you can't take that suban to, that character. Sometimes you sit back and say, I used to work with a radio station in the days gone. And over there, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do this, you couldn't. Discipline was. But with this one, nah, anything goes. Much as you are benefiting from anything goes radio station, you see your future as bleak. What do? You exit. If that is the reason Rosemond Obeng has moved out, then we have to applaud her. She could be a pimp. She could be a liar. But when a proper party picks a pimp up, a liar up, they are able to wash off the leprosy of this person in the River Jordan, and she becomes whole, smooth, and tactful. Maybe the NPP failed with that. I want to assume from what Mustafa is saying that Baumia's office is full of rodents and cockroaches. People with no integrity. From what Mustafa is saying. In fact, that is what I see. That his office is full of nothing but rodents and cockroaches. How can a rodent... Let me be respectful. I leave it here. How can such a person be the president of the nation? It was a mistake, first and foremost, that he even became vice president. He failed the nation. The whack economics that he was and said he was Adam Smith. We saw who he was. The lies he told us we should have known. Today, Mustafa is complaining about lies. Who was seen as the king of lies in Ghanaian politics? Rosemond learned lies from her boss, Baumia. If that's anything to go by, it's the black pot.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.